This your boy T-Poe. This the New Solution Radio podcast show. And if it ain't AGELREEFE and the family, I'ma keep saying it till I get tired. Overstand, leg up. This your boy T-Poe. This the New Solution Radio podcast show. And if it ain't AGELREEFE and the family, I'ma keep saying it till I get tired. Overstand, leg up. Yo, what's going on? We back in the building. Another show, live and direct. You know what I'm saying? We got the top dogs in the building. You feel what I'm saying? We got OG, Ambassador OG in the big week. We got Ben and Lee, you know what I'm saying? We got Slout Boy in the building. We got Ambassador Strong in the building. You got your host T-Pope in the building. So, you know what I'm saying? We finna go ahead and get to the show. You know what I'm saying? And the first topic that I want to touch on is the political movement of everything. The growth and the movement of everything. And we're going to bring Ben and Lee and OG to the stage so they can get their insight on this political standpoint that we are in right now. OG, Ben and Lee.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
So the question was, you know what I'm saying, we wanted to talk about the corruption in the political system, the destruction in the political system. Slout Boy, I know you're aware of that too, you know what I'm saying, going on in California. So, you know, from state to state, city to city, county to county, whatever, you know, let's share some insight on here. I want to get some good insight on this.
Well, when it comes to the political arena, it falls on the people. You know, those players in play. What I mean by the players that's in play, like your U.S. congressman, your U.S. senator, that's on the federal level. And every state has their own U.S. senator and U.S. congressperson that they voted in office. And then on the local level, you got your governor that govern your state. And then you got state representatives and state senators. And then on the local city level, you got the city councils, like the aldermen. And you got your county commissioners deal with county issues. And then you got your, you got to know who's the players are.
Right.
But when it comes to them not doing what's best for your people in your area, because I don't believe in trying to take on the state of the United States. I live in Chicago.
Indeed.
Right? I live on the east side of Chicago. My main concern is to set up a coalition on this east side with brothers and sisters, organizations that have the same best interests and all that I have. So now, once we form this coalition just on this east side, because we all share the same legislators, we all live in their districts, right? And so once we form this coalition, then we bring them in and let them know, one, we are your constituents, and two, we are the organizations in your district, and three, these are the issues are in your district. And we challenge you to go to Springfield, go to DC and bring back resources to your district,
right,
to address the issues in your district. All right, and that gives us leverage because who put them in office? The constituents. So the blueprint is, especially these brothers are running around here fumbling in and out of prison, catching these non-worthy cases.
Yeah.
Walking around with their pants sagging, getting high, can't put a sentence together. That's my target. Straighten up. One, become a registered voter.
Yeah.
And once you become a registered voter, then get sworn in as a deputy registrar and go back on that block where you come from and register all those brothers to become registered voters. And now y'all go to the poll and y'all go as an educated voter and y'all vote not on a candidate, but issues.
Right.
So if a candidate's got your issues in mind, that's who you vote for, right? And there's so many brothers that don't vote, that are not registered voters, not vote. And this is why people continue to stay in office with the same people that vote, old folks and people that ain't got their feet on the ground in the hood. Am I making some sense? So like Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seals, when they started the Black Panther Party, they made emphasis. Mm-hmm. The power is in the people. The power is in the people. Mm-hmm. You know, good example here in Illinois, you got 4.1 million people in Illinois that are convicted felons. Just think if we collaborated our votes together and vote together, we can determine who the governor of this state can be.
Right.
And then when you look at the communities we in, we are a majority. Because I represent at least 30 votes. My children are all elderly, old enough to vote. My grandson is old enough to vote. So I represent at least 30 votes. So if we come collectively, that's our power. But we powerless because we don't think like that. So that's my thing on this political thing. These people only doing what they're doing because we allow them to do what they do. And there's no accountability. And one, we're not educated on what do the, say, like they had the pandemic, guys was dying in our county jail. People was talking to an alderman. An alderman deal with city issues.
Right.
It's the county commissioner that the county jail fall under their jurisdiction. That's who you should be talking to. So we're not educated on some things. That's what needs to happen. We got to get educated on how to fight and who to fight, who to take the fight to. So I'll land the plane with that one.
Okay. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. OG, you want to kick something in there too? Slow Boy, you want to kick something in there too? I know we got another podcast show on this show tonight. So we really got two podcast shows going simultaneously across the nation. So this is big. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to kick something in there on this topic right
here? Well, me personally, when it comes down to, you know, the political standpoint, like Mr. Bentley said, you know, it's all, you got to find out who is who. You know, you got to find out that. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, you know, it's a lot of us don't, you know, it's a lot of us don't vote. So I'm in Mississippi, you know. So as for Mississippi, they Mississippi as like we the bottom tier, cause you know, Mississippi almost just they go by whatever. You feel me? They don't even have no there ain't no justification for Mississippi. They just, you know what I'm saying, whatever any business person can tell them they good rich, you know. It ain't no, well, we're gonna stand up and vote for this person and that person. You know, Mississippi ain't never been like that. These volunteer states like Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida, you know, and Carolina, these states like in the southern, you know, it's different. Right. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know, it's just different. You know, a lot, like you say, we don't know about politics. I really didn't know about, you know, the politics. I know who hold what seat, but I was into it, you know what I'm saying? And I just really got in, you know, started getting into the political standpoint this year. You know, when I started talking with, you know, Jill Stein from the Green Party, and I started trying to figure out stuff, you know, and as I go, you know. So, you know, like, you know, it's one of our purposes to understand the political standpoint. That's what we're supposed to been taught to learn that. You're supposed to learn that and get into the field, you know, the 21st century vote. You know what I'm saying? That was applied to us back in the day to go out here and vote. You know what I'm saying? And get people in the office that you feel going to help you. But it's a whole lot of things that we haven't done. And we can't sit and point fingers at what we, you know, what we haven't done, but we can do what we can do now, you know. And that's a message I'm trying to get now across, you know, to the young guys, young females, young men, you know, older, young. Hey, you need to go out here and start protecting our own. You know, with that, you know what I'm saying. But I agree with everything Mr. Bentley said. We got to show more self-esteem upon ourselves. You know, we got to don't wait on the next man to do it. We got to go do it ourselves. Don't be a yes man, just go do it. You know, go with your mind, you know. And with that, you know, I'm gonna let Short Body get in on it, let him get his, you know, take on it. But that's what I see on it.
What's happening, y'all brothers? Salute to you, y'all brothers, man. My thing is, I'm gonna go a little political when I talk about it. Is you know, we tell each other to go vote, man, and but we go vote, and then we go vote people when we just gonna be there for us, and we don't get what we want in return our vote. I think that once we vote, we ought to be having follow-ups, man. Because when we vote people in, people we think that's gonna actually do what they said they're gonna do for us, and when we vote them in office, we never do a follow-up. We always give them excuses for why they can't do what they said they're gonna do when they said they're gonna go in there. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta learn how to, when we do go vote for people. We've been voting for years, man. Everybody vote, man. A lot of us been voting for years, and we be thinking we vote for the right candidates. And then as soon as they get in office, they turn their back. They don't do nothing we said they're gonna do. I mean, every party we didn't vote for, we thought was gonna do something for us. They never do what they said they're gonna do, and we haven't had running across nobody right now today to do that, man. So I feel like when we do vote, we got to make sure we stand on the people we vote on. We got to make sure we got to stand strong with them when they go try to push the laws that we want, when they got to try to put them agendas that we want. We got to stand with them so that they can't get turned down for doing what they have to do for us. They said they're gonna do for us. You know what I'm saying? Because all we do, I think we stop at the vote. I think we need to stop it at the vote and continue to keep pushing with the candidates we do vote for to make sure that our agendas get done. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel political. That's why I feel like you tell a lot of people, turn a lot of people away from voting when you vote for people that you think gonna do something for you, and when you put them in office, you know your vote counted for them, and then don't nothing happen for it. So we feel like as a people, our vote becomes useless. You know what I'm saying? Because we feel like we became putting people who we think they'll ride from us from the dirt. We'll see them from the dirt. Soon they get in soon they put that 3-piece suit on, they forgot what the hell they came in. We put that 3-piece suit on for. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what turned a lot of us away from the votes and stuff, man. So we gotta learn how to bring them in and we gotta make sure we stand on our candidates, bro, that we voting for. That's very important to the people, man. And you got to think about it. A lot of us, we get bamboozled by not knowing what's going on politically. We are going there voting blind to the fact that we don't. A lot of us be blind to the fact that politically what's going on. So we'll make votes that really, really hurt ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Not even knowing, but we just going to vote. So I think it's that we need to stop pushing. Just vote. Learn what you're going to vote. Learn why you're voting. And learn how it's going to help us. And also, when we put somebody in office, we got to stand on them and the people, man. We got to be this thing right here, man. This is what I want for the people. It's about us now, man. We cannot keep blaming politics for doing nothing if we ain't gonna do nothing about it ourselves. We got to start standing on the ass. The people got to do for us. We can't let the politics keep on ruling us and we let them fuck us and not doing nothing about it. See, we talking this shit, but as soon as we get in the office and they start fucking us, we all crying. No, man, we gotta go stand on business like they did. We gotta learn how to stand on business against when we vote for people and they're not doing what they say they're gonna do. Or like that, we'll give a candidate excuse. Man, they wouldn't let him do it because he's black. Man, wait a minute, but when he was in there trying to do it, why we weren't standing on it with him so we can get it done?
Well, let's talk about
why we weren't standing on it with him so we can get it done. We don't do that. We go for the vote and we think that's all we're supposed to do. No, we got.
Let's just talk about the word vote, though. Let's talk about the 4-letter word vote.
Right.
Let's just talk about that for, what I'm saying? We got corruption, we got destruction, but just let's talk vote for a minute. Okay, like you said, we tell people to go out and vote, but 90% of the people vote on popularity. They don't look at the real values that's at hand. Can your bills get paid? Are they providing jobs? Are they providing structure for their communities? So it gets lost in the imagery. So that's why I said I wanted to speak on that. I'm going to bring Strong and KD on in a minute. But what I'm saying is, let's talk about the word vote.
Yeah.
People holler, vote, like you said, vote. Vote this, vote that. And everything is a vote. It has to go through legislation before it becomes law. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So people don't understand the concept of voting. Like Benny Lee is telling them, get out there and vote. You know what I'm saying? But know what you want. Check your people out. Do your background check. Do your homework. This is for the people that's out there listening and watching and stuff on the radio. We live on the radio and on the podcast. But if you out there and we have a situation where we can become the change, as Strong would say, as any political leader would say, if we want to become that change, we have a responsibility to do our homework also with the politicians. But the problem I think it is, brother, they put their trust in man. You dig what I'm saying? That's number one right there. They put their trust in man. Man can only do so much for you. You know what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? So voting entails a lot. People don't look at the facts. Let's look at the facts. Minus the bullshit, let's look at the facts of this person.
Right.
Let's look at his track record. Let's look at what he's done, the pros and the cons. You dig what I'm saying? Because that matters. You know what I mean? But that's just my take on. We're gonna bring KD and Strong on along with it. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank y'all. Y'all stay on the line. We're gonna bring them on and you know what I'm saying, get their insight on the destruction and the corruption of politics and what's going on today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's get it.
Okay, we move. Mr. Benny Lee, that was some good stuff right there, sir. Good stuff.
Definitely.
Good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We need that down here in the South.
Yeah, the brother Short Body was right on point that we vote a person in office, but then when they get in office, we don't stay on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they can. And then another point he brought out too is that those legislators are only effective as the people behind them.
Right.
You know, they are only effective as the people behind them. You know, because like if you're a city council and the mayor see that you had a very small margin of voters to get you in office, then you significant to him. He's gonna give more favor to that alderman got the majority votes that got in office. Because he got a lot of people behind him. And it's the people from all the aldermen to get the mayor in office. You know, and then when you look locally, who's voting, who they behind, that determines who end up in DC as far as U.S. governor, U.S. State, U.S. Congressmen and stuff. You know, but we got to educate our people. You know, Martin Luther King had a strategy, his 6 steps to nonviolence. The first step is gather your information, get your facts together. And once you get your facts together, then you educate the people, even your opposition, know your facts. And then the third step is you got to make a personal commitment to follow the issue through. You ain't going to give up on it. You're going to follow through. Then the fourth step is now sit down at the negotiation table. But be clear on your objectives before you sit down. You got to know what you're asking for. You got to have some alternative to what's already happening, you know. And when you sit at the negotiation table, if they don't go along with it, like President Kennedy didn't go along with it at first, Bull Connor, George Wallace, they didn't go along with it. So they had to go to step 5 to take direct action when they hit the streets and they protested. And they had them kids march. And when they sick them dogs on them kids and them water holes on those kids, that turned the stomach of some white America.
Right.
And made them see these people doing a peaceful march, but they attacked them people and them kids at that. And President Kennedy came on national TV and addressed that, right? And so now that brought them back to the table to negotiate. By that time, Kennedy was assassinated. And then Lyndon B. Johnson, who was the vice president, became the president. And he followed up with what the group he called the Big Six. Kennedy coined them guys the Big Six, the most 6 influential black men in the country at that time. You had Martin Luther King, who was the head of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. He had a following of a lot of ministers. Then you had John Lewis, who was the head of SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. They were the ones that were doing the sit-ins and the bus rides and stuff like Freedom Ride. Then you had Whitney Young, who was the head of the Urban League at that time, who forced corporate America, when they didn't hire blacks in corporate America, he forced them within 1 year to hire over 400 blacks in corporate America. Then you had Roy Wilkins, who was the head of NAACP at the time, right? Then you had A. Philip Randolph. You know, he was the Pullman porter with the labor union, right? Then you had James Farmer. Of course, those were the 6 most influential black men in America at that time, right? And so when they was rejected that negotiation for the Civil Rights Bill and the Voting Protection Act, when they took step 5 and brought national attention to the issue. And when they went back to the table, that's when they signed in the Civil Rights Bill and the Voting Protection Right Bill, because they went through those steps. And we got to have those kind of strategies today, even though that was back in the 60s, but it still can work today.
Right.
You know, right. And what they really had is that everybody that marched and demonstrated with them had to go through a training. That's when them 6 principles of nonviolence came in. You know, the first principle is nonviolence is a way of life for courageous people, not cowards. Because Martin Luther King said, now we're going to go over here. They might shoot us, kill us, take us to jail, but we got to have the courage to go over here to address it anyway. And if you ain't ready and got the courage to do that, go home. See, people think King was passive. No, he was aggressively nonviolent. We got to go over here, right? And then that second principle, we got to build a beloved community wherever we go. We can't wither, right? Then he say, okay, can you accept suffering without retaliation for the sake of the just cause? People looked at like they was stupid, like sheep. But his whole thing is when we go in this community and we address these injustices, they're going to attack us. Now, we retaliate, we're going to look like the perpetrators because we came in their home. We got to remain nonviolent. And so people can see we were doing a peaceful march and they attacked us. And that's how we win favors. But we got to sacrifice this. And that's why that principle, can you accept suffering without retaliation for the sake of the just cause? Right? And then that principle to avoid inner spiritual violence and outward physical violence. Right? And then his main principle is we got to attack the forces of evil, not the person doing the evil. See, a police officer can kill a brother unlawfully. If you attack that police officer, ain't nothing going to happen because there's a system to protect him, put him on death duty. He keep his pension. We got to attack the forces of evil. Those people that set up those policies and systems to protect that police officer. So when we attack them and say, y'all got to change our policies when this happens, not only do that police need to be held accountable and get fired, he need to go to prison, he need to do time, and when he come out, he need to lose his pension. And that'll make police officers rethink what they do and how they do. So we got to attack the forces of evil, not the person doing the evil. And then they also believe in that 6th principle, that the universe is on the side of justice. It's hard for black people to buy into that, but just think about it. At one time, we didn't think slavery would end it. Even those abolitionists that was fighting to end slavery, blacks thought they was crazy. But it ended up ending, right? A lot of things that convicted felons couldn't do, but now we can do, right? And those are some examples of the universe is on the side of justice. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. There is a method, there's a formula we can use that worked back then that can work today.
If it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it, ain't it? That's what you're saying. We're going to cut to a little break, fellas. I want y'all to hang in there. For everybody that's watching, we're going to cut to a little break. We can bring on Ambassador Strong and KD. We'll be back in a few seconds, man. Y'all just keep it tight. Y'all keep it locked.
Let's go.
This your boy T-Poe. This the New Solution Radio podcast show. And if it ain't AGELREEFE and the family, I'ma keep saying it till I get tired. Overstand, leg up. We back. We took a little break, you know what I'm saying? So we wanted to continue the principles, you know what I'm saying, on what Ben Elite was speaking on, because there was some strong principles there, you know what I'm saying? You know, going through life, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they live a lot longer than I have, you know what I'm saying? And then seen a lot more. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to take what people is listening. You got to take what they're saying, what these guys are saying. You got to take it seriously, because we living in a time where situations is changing, you know what I'm saying? Stuff is changing right and left. Laws changing right and left, right and left, right and left. Before you know it, you can do this, but you can't do that. You used to could do this, but you can't do that. And we're going to bring on Strong KD and let them spit their little piece on that too, you know what I'm saying? Along with Ben Elite, OG, and Sloth Boy in the building. Yeah.
Well, let me talk about the 6 principles. You know, that was some real common knowledge. I didn't never know that. You know, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? The names that he called, I knew about A-Dog, but I didn't know about the rest of the guys. I knew about as far as I didn't really just know about. I knew about the NAACP. You know, I'm a 70s baby, so. But anyway, that was some very, very knowledgeable. That that's something that I was able to learn from that, because now I can go back now, because I was missing a lot of pieces. But if you told me and put that in the formation, I can kind of see where things, you know what I'm saying, came about. You know, like that was very. That was very good. I like that. You know, it comes based with the common sense approach, the method of the common sense approach. You know what I'm saying? In that category, and that's that's what we need. We need that knowledge, the wisdom that you possess. You know, we missing that. The outside world, the younger generation, you know, the leaders back then. I think, you know, I tell a lot of people from 1980 to 2000, we didn't have no leaders right then. You see what I'm saying? Majority of the leaders then in that area, we didn't have them. You know, we didn't have that. We better come fight for you type of model from 1980 to 2000. You see what I'm saying? Because majority of our leaders, if they weren't assassinated, they was locked up. You know what I'm saying? So we had to feed for ourselves, especially in the bottom tier, in the southern part. We had to learn. We had to learn from ourselves. You know what I'm saying? The forces and the leaders that we had, you know what I'm saying? The leaders that we had, I don't think they were really true leaders. You know what I'm saying? To me. You know what I'm saying? So, now I don't want to broadcast no names, but the leaders back then, I mean, I didn't get nothing from them like I did from the leaders back before. You feel me?
Right.
So, I mean, like the 80s and 2000s, we had to fend for ourselves, and the leadership then really had them leaders. We still had the same organization was still in, but the leaders there wasn't there, you know, from that time. You see what I'm saying? So, with that, you know, I ain't gonna take a long time because we got a lot of guys on the podcast one, but that's what I feel. From 80 to 2000, it wasn't, you know, we didn't have that like y'all had from the 70s on back, you know.
Right. Yeah, we wanted to go ahead and give a chance to everybody. Welcome to the show. You know, you got David Voss there, you got Senior Ambassador and Strong and Ambassador Carl in the building. You want to give a round of applause. Welcome to the show. You know what I'm saying? We can get some more insight on these principles that been put out there. You know what I'm saying? That's some strong stuff right there, bro. Strong stuff. Absolutely. So we're gonna pass the torch on to Ambassador Strong. What's your position on this?
Peace and blessings, family. To be honest, what both of the brothers, well, everybody that spoke earlier, was 100% correct and honest. It takes all of those elements. It takes all of those variables for us to be successful. We vote people into office, and unfortunately, a lot of times the criteria for that vote is racially motivated versus being based on knowledge and understanding and actual political agendas. You know, we push the agenda to vote without understanding that a vote is a form of saying that I'm loyal to this person's ideas, this person's platform, and that I'm going to stand with them and push their agenda because their agenda is in tune with mine. See, the vote has a lot heavier meaning than just going to cast a ballot. You know, you saying you stand with that person. That person is a representative of you and the things that you represent and that you're fighting for. So, in understanding that that person is only a representative of the people, that means that the people still have a job to do. Everybody plays a part in the process of change. Even if you remain stagnant, you are still a part of the process of change. You are either delaying it, or you're hurting it, or whatever the case may be, because you're not putting forth your voice. You're not putting forth your piece of the puzzle. You're holding out. You know, we have responsibilities in this thing and accountability. You know, because I went and cast my vote, I feel I did my part. So there's nothing else for me to do. I sit and I complain about what they're doing, not realizing that the same power that put them in office can take them out of office. But we also have to proactively prepare ourselves for this process of change. We have to get people that are being educated, people that are doing the educating. We have to rise somebody up from amongst our ranks to sit in these seats. We have to do away with some of these notions that keep our young people from being involved. We have to stop glorifying the people that are corrupt in the streets and that have poisoned and destroyed our communities forever, and realize that it's going to take the power of the community to stand up and reestablish these things, to put those laws into effect, to understand that if I don't fight back, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be killed anyway. So my best bet is to fight back. At least with fighting, I have a chance. But we also need education, because the worst thing than not voting is an uneducated vote. So you have to understand what these politics mean to you. Not what's popular, but what they mean to you. What's the long term, the short and long term effects? You know, it's voting cannabis into legalcy. How is that really going to affect us? Is it going to help people get out of jail that was already convicted for these things? Is it a setup and a ploy? Why is it only being legalized on a state level and not a federal level? What's the gimmicks behind all these things? Because we know that federal supersedes state, so why is it just legal on the state level? What's going on? What's the catch-22? What are we doing? You know, we getting something we want, so everybody happy. But what's behind the curtain? You know, they pass these bills and one part of the bill sound great, but when you look at everything that's attached to it, you realize that, yeah, they got you. While you were smiling and happy about this new toy they gave you, they was robbing the house. These are the things that we have to pay attention to. We have to be aware of immediate gratification. It done took you 40 years to give me the why today you getting it to me. What's going on? I need you to taste it first. Let me know. And this is as far as passing the baton and leadership, to say we didn't have any leaders, I feel is an error. I feel that the thing is we didn't understand the common enemy. See, back in the civil rights movements and things of that nature, the enemy was clear. You know, it wasn't no I cross county lines and I'm good, or I go over here, sundown meant sundown no matter where I went. You know, these people looked at me the same way and did the same. The hatred in their heart, the laws protected these things. So we knew what we was fighting for. We knew who we were fighting against. But in today's climate, we can't tell because everything's been jumbled. We have entertainment. See, they gave us access to a whole lot of tools like social media and things of that nature, but without teaching you how to use it for your benefit. So you get a hold to all of this information, all these different sources that are causing more chaos and confusion. And they're feeding into the ideas that we already want to support because they're taking data from our messages, the things we follow, the things we look. They take these things and they learn how to feed us. Now, they're not feeding us for our elevation and acceleration. They're feeding us for our ultimate demise, to continue feeding the system, to continue feeding the penal warehouses and things of that nature. They letting you know, oh, so-and-so killed this rapper and so-and-so did this to this person without any thought of the retaliation and the things that are going to come from it. And we bite right into it. They got the whole world distracted with what's going on with Puff Daddy and all the celebrities and all of this stuff that's going on in the middle of election season. Because why our young people are more obsessed with the entertainment industry than their own lives. Because they don't understand that, yes, you are a whole entity, my young brothers and sisters. You are a complete, but you are part of a much bigger picture. You know, nobody's taken away from your identity. In fact, your identity of who you are, your individuality is actually supposed to complement the entire picture. But if you emulating and trying to imitate these visions that you see on TV who are fictional characters, then this is what's getting caught up. Like Capone said, what's going to happen now that all these people being knocked off the map, now that they don't have these role models to look up to? What's going to happen? What's going to happen now that they've legalized homosexuality and gay marriages and things of this nature, but now you're creating an image of hate, gay bashing amongst the rap community? What's going to happen to the young brothers that start lashing out at homosexuality? These are hate crimes nowadays.
Right.
They come with hefty sentences. So watch the bait. You know, the bait is in the water and waiting for y'all to bite, but the only way we bite is if we uneducated. See, you keep throwing the same bait in the pond and the fish keep seeing that every time one of their little partners bite it, it's getting snatched up. Eventually the bait start working.
Yeah.
So they keep throwing the same bait out for us and we keep biting. So the only thing we can do, because the propaganda machine that is America is great. It's pumping all the messages that it needs to pump in order to maintain the system. But those of us that are aware have a responsibility to enlighten the rest of the world. You know, hey, the marches don't work, the speeches don't work, this don't work. Why they don't? You send your kids to educational institutions where they get lectures all the time. This is the knowledge stage. This is the awareness stage. Awareness equals preparedness. So yes, we need the voices, we need the marches, but we need the follow-up action also.
Right.
We need to spark the flames around the country that motivate these young revolutionaries, these evolutionaries, the ones that's going to make the change. Don't stay quiet, stand up and vote. You want me to cast a vote, but you want me to shut my mouth. What kind of sense that make? But anyway, I'm going to pass the mic to one of my brothers.
Mr. Barksdale, we gonna jump to you on this, on your position. I know you right along there with Benny Lee and the rest of them, how you feel.
Peace and blessings, you know.
We glad to have you here, brother. Glad to have you here. We want to get your insight on this too, because Strong gave some real good points. He really hit on point on some things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and I know that you can touch on them too.
Yes, sir, man. From what I've been sitting there the whole time, listening to my brother Benny Lee, blessed brother Benny, you know, and listening to this short body, you know, I've been listening to Capone, listening to the whole thing, and everything they have actually no sense addresses actually covers all grounds of that, you know. they pretty much got it all covered, you know.
But see, it's the thing here, you know what I'm saying? In voting, like I was saying earlier, and like we all touched on in different aspects, that it turned into entertainment and politics mixed into one. It's a melting pot. You know what I'm saying? And like the enemy, we can't see them because they blended in now. You know what I'm saying? The chameleon stage and stepped in, like you were saying. Like we can't see them coming. We saw them coming. We was oppressed. We was down bad, like he said. But you know what I'm saying? That's just, you know, I just jump in and say what I would say. You know what I'm saying? But this your flow. Go ahead.
Yeah, we use that word term enemy. And as you look around you every day. The man is standing next to you, the sister standing next to you that we call our enemies, right. And we should send our own brothers, our own sisters every day, call our enemies. You know, and the problem with our culture, if you think about what they did back then, they fought for equal rights, they fought for no poverty, they fought for things of their communities. Mm-hmm. And what we do today, nothing. But we said we believe in their teachings, they follow it. So what we missing at? When all these things going on in our culture throughout our country right now, you know, and how we change that, we change the scenario of our situation, but you know what I'm saying, creating opportunities for each other and helping each other, unifying each other. Unification will save a nation. Separation will destroy a whole culture and a nation. You know, and a lot of them missed the bigger picture. They missed the writing on the wall, I call it. It's a thing we put together a while back called the writing on the wall, because they didn't see the writing on the wall. You know, the same alderman we should be creating our own, the same government we should be creating our own mayors and government, because it starts on the lower level before getting to the high. Everything starts on the lower level. That the aldermen, that field, fifth wards, and things of that nature starts on that lower level. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones make the most decisions. City councilmen, them the ones that make the decisions. Why we can't become those things? Our people, our consumer feel, you know what I'm saying, know the needs of our people. They know, you know what I'm saying, the needs of our people. We should know, we know the needs of our people. Let's create those things, that person to be that voice for our people, other people, and with the people. You know, but I ain't because everything they said really covers all ground. Blessed to be in the presence of great men of yourselves, you know.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. KD, I know you've been itching to jump in there. You know what I'm saying? You ready to come in the game? I'm finna go. You know what I'm saying?
KD, what's up, baby boy? Let's go.
I'm gonna put you in there. Don't be shooting no 3-pointer now.
Go ahead, KB.
Nah, it's just, you know what I'm saying. I like to keep laughter. That's something about me when I do my shows. I like to bring laughter. Laughter heals the soul. Sometimes you don't know what nobody going through. You don't know what they got going on the other end of the spectrum, and it has to be. It's respected. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a part of me I want to express to everybody out there. Hey, I like to laugh. I like to joke. I'm gonna joke with you. I'm gonna keep you laughing. I'm gonna keep you, you know, whatever. But we're gonna keep it moving with the politics thing. KD, we're gonna get your insights on these principles.
Man, like, it's pretty much, once you go after strong, you have to figure it out. Okay. But I'm gonna send a shout out to all the guys that's over here right now, man. Those that I know, those that I never met. Peace to the guys, man. He covered it. Yeah. Everybody, you know, and I'm pretty sure we all gonna say everybody covered certain situations that we all been thinking about, because some of us have been on phone calls together and we chopped it up extensively, man. And only thing I can say is the educational value of us will understand the political process and by the number according to what's needed out here in our communities, man. And once we understand that the numbers plays a major part in politics with us, according to what we doing out here, what we allow being voted for, things of that nature, we understand that the numbers run the politics according to whatever action they decided to put in. Everybody asking about what's gonna happen, the order of it all. But see, the thing about the order of the politics is that we have to put the order of us into a collective consciousness so we can all move according to the same bubble. I don't think we didn't have no role models or leaders and things like that was in the 80s to the 2000s. The fact is that we were not guided in the thought process of a political process because we were so far moving into according to these street values and things not like that, not recognizing that we needed to be a political force that's educated and be reckoned with according to the politics that's needed for our people. We didn't have the guidance. We only voted for the people that we seen. We were so young anyway. Like I said, I'm only 47 years old. So we were young. We didn't have, just say, these political leaders or influencers or teachers to be. We didn't have the roots of our nature being taught to us as far as our mission statement since day one after that. And we all lived according to the 6 principles. It's just according to how you individually lived it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he said according to King, as far as them 6 things, I live like that. And I'm glad he put me up on that because I can pat myself on the back. I'm doing a good job right now. You feel what I mean? Because confidence is what gives us the ability to even have these conversations with each other, the world, the radio station, and things like that. So the politics has to move like that in our community. The education about we need to go get them great them Wolf of Wall Street individuals that are part of our community with these business type minds that understand the numbers and the politics through study.
Mm-hmm.
We teach our kids these things. Understand the politics of nature within yourselves, young man, so you can know what you can do for your people. And if we need your help or we can ask for your help, help us write a bill or 2. Help us let you get up in there. Help me get in there, or him get in there, or you get in there. We need more ex-felons there because they actually need the guidance of unity of how we build these things together. The movement never stopped. It just keeps moving.
Right. That's right.
When we educate ourselves, we'll be a whole lot better, man. Like all you brothers said, education will probably start unification that'll start the participation for a nation of men and women of greatness, immaculacy.
Indeed. Well, we spoke about that. We spoke about changing curriculums. I know Strong was big on that. We did a show on curriculums to help educate. You know what I'm saying? Like my company, even though I do music, I have an actual company that works with. I want to start working with felons out of prison, nonviolent criminals, and give them a job. You know what I'm saying? Give them a chance. Like I was telling them, it's everybody deserves a second chance, depending on what you done, what you did. Hey, you did that. Okay, we're not gonna hold that against you. We're not gonna judge you. We're gonna bring you into a system where you can get educated, feed your family, and take care of your responsibilities, and not have to worry about all this extra stuff that the crossing out because of your record. The judge. I have never been to prison myself, but I have a lot of friends and a lot of partners and family members that had walked that road. And the stories that I heard made me want to create something to help somebody because it's a lot of people that have made mistakes. A lot of people that's incarcerated for something they didn't do. It's a lot of people that are in prison right now to this day, and they can figure out mathematical equations like out of this world. You see what I'm saying? But we wouldn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So like he said, it starts at the ground level of things. And that's why I'm glad we all are together here now to put this thing together and put it in motion. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to chop that up, you know what I'm saying? Throw that out there too, you know what I'm saying? Look, Strong, I see you itching over there, baby. Go on, jump in there.
Hey, now, because what I just wanted to put on it, man, was one thing that I found when trying to motivate or stimulate brothers around me is if it's not an immediate outcome, they feel that it won't work. Right. It's the desire for immediate gratification that I feel stands in the way. And since this, Solution Radio, I want to try and ask, can we try the solution? In the process of goal setting, one of the biggest things you have to do is have a clearly defined goal. And it has to be reasonable and realistic, and then you have to have an action plan that breaks down the steps it's going to take to achieve that goal. That way you can monitor your progress or see where it is and what's delaying you. Now, one of the biggest issues I feel we face is not having clearly defined goals. We all are aware of what it is that we want, but within these organizations, within these clubs, within these communities, families, or whatever the case may be, especially families, because as we understand, the families make up the community and so on and so forth. And then for my guys who consider themselves street guys, I just want to remind you that the streets actually run through the communities, i.e. making you a part of the community. So all is one, no matter how you want to shape it, chip it, or twist it up. All right. So when you understand that you are a part of something bigger than yourself, whether it be a family, relationship, club, organization, whatever, when you understand and you understand you have a position to play. But in order for you to know what your position is, you have to know what the job is. So I say it out and say this: we need to start making clearly defined goals that will lead us towards where we're trying to go. See, right now, our goals need to be that action plan towards that ultimate goal, the vision of where we're trying to get to, you know, as a people, as a community, family, whatever the case may be. And you set these small goals up, and as you accomplish them, we take on a snowball effect. As the snowball goes down the hill, it eventually becomes an avalanche because it picks up more and more along the way. Just as planting a seed in the ground. You know, you want to grow an apple tree, you can't look at the ground and wish. You actually have to plant the seed, and then you have to nurture it so that it'll grow, and then one day inevitably produce fruit under the right conditions. So in the meantime, we've all, and I'm not going to say we've all, but from what I've seen, we've been putting Band-Aids on surface level issues. You know, we knock something out, we put a Band-Aid over it, and then 10 years from now, it pops up again with a different face. It's mutated a little bit, so it look a little bit different. But if you dig deep enough, you realize it has the same roots. So now, by educating ourselves on what's the problem, not what we assume the problem is, not what we feel fixed, but by educating ourselves on what's the problems within our own neighborhoods, communities, families, like the brother was speaking earlier, he dealt with the east side of Chicago, that's where he at. So within those areas, you find out what's needed. You have neighbors, you have a community, you have a family that grow there. So you have a community meeting and you discuss the priority issues with those people that live in your community. And even when that alderman is coming around, that councilman, whoever, you have a representative for that block, a block captain, whatever you want to call them, coordinator, whoever you want to call this individual, you know, that is going to go speak to the alderman, speak to the whoever about this is what our community needs. These are the things we can do ourselves, but these are the things that need to be done on a governmental level. So as our representatives, we need you to take this to the floor and participate in those meetings so that you can see that your representative is actually doing what you asked them to do. You have to go to the town hall meetings. You have to go to the city council meetings. And if not, nowadays they broadcast them on TV, so you don't even have to leave the comfort of that recliner you love so much. Turn on the TV and watch it. Whatever it is, you have to be aware of it in order to prepare for it. And if you don't involve yourself, then you're saying, I'm willing to accept whatever whoever else prepares for me. So accountability is the seasoning for the season.
Right.
You know, we have to involve the fact of, hey, I can't sit by and say, man, look at what these schools are doing to my babies. Man, I wish somebody would stand up and go down there and talk about it. What's stopping me? I'm the one that realized the issue. Why am I not talking about it? It's only my child. See, we have a complex of, I'm the only one it's happening to, so nobody's going to say. If you don't say nothing, then you don't know how many people actually are going through or thinking the exact same thing you're thinking. And then when you find like-minded individuals, you form a collective because synergy is formed. 1 + 2, I lift 100, you lift 100, together we lift 300 because of the synergy that's there. It gives us extra strength because we are stronger together. So when you form in these different things, of mechanics, of doctors, lawyers, all of us come together in these different organizations, and we come together around the main issue, we form the fist. Now, this fist is capable of knocking out so much more than our individual parties can do. But a lot of times pride and things like that, distrust getting away, I don't have to trust you to know that you're effective in what you do and that it's beneficial for us to work together. In fact, just being honest, I trust the Most High. Let's just keep it real. So when I see things outside of his principles, according to my spiritual beliefs, then I move around.
Right. That's understood.
So each and every one of us would benefit from, I'm not going to tell you what you're thinking is wrong, but if you think that you're standing on something solid, challenge it. Challenge it and ask yourself, is it helping me to reach my short and long-term goals? Am I feeling the way I want to feel? Do I see progress? Or am I truthfully stagnant and painting a pretty picture for the world to see? Am I doing all that I can do to shape the future that I want to shape? And you know, go. Oh, okay. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, let me chime in here. You know, when we're talking about how do we fight, you know, I used to box. You know, and a person that ain't never boxed don't know that you got to figure out what your first 30 seconds of that first round should look like. And then how you carry over to your last 30 seconds of that first round. Now you done did 1 minute, right? And it's a saying that you can't build your shield on the battlefield. You know, you can't wait till because see, a fight ain't won in the ring. The fight is won in training. Because if you train sloppy, you're gonna box sloppy. You know, there's one proverb that say that an army of lions led by a sheep cannot defeat an army of sheep led by a lion. Now, when you look at in our communities, these young brothers in the streets, they're young lions. But where are their leaders leading them to? 20 years from now, them lions dead in the penitentiaries, strung out on drugs because they've been led by a sheep. But then them so-called brothers in the hood we consider sheep, they've been led by a lion. And where they at 20 years from now? College degrees, trades, business owners, aldermen, lawyers, right? Because they've been led by a lion, right? And one thing I try to impress upon my peers, see, I'm 70 years old. You know, I'm 70. Right. I remember the day that Malcolm X was assassinated. Yeah, I remember that day. Yeah. And I remember when Martin Luther King got assassinated because I was here. You know, and what I try to impress upon my peers, one, we got to be the message we bring. We can't talk to these young brothers on how it was for us, but that ain't how it is now. Right. Their brain is developed different from ours. Because see, when I was a teenager in the 60s, TV went off at 10 o'clock at night. And it wasn't but 5 channels. Wasn't no internet, wasn't no cable. That stuff didn't exist. That's true. The movies didn't have explicit sex scenes in it. And murder cases and all that stuff. So these young people's minds today has been developed different than mine. So I got a different mind than these young people do today. And because I understand that, now how do I teach them under those conditions? And I'm going to say this and land the plane. When I go into prisons, and I'm talking to the young brothers in the prisons, and I ask that magical question. What do you want your life to look like 1 year after you done came out of here? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want to have accomplished 1 year after you done walked out these doors? And a lot of them be like, Scooby-Doo. I don't know, right? And I know before I even ask that question, a lot of them don't know how to answer it because they don't have a vision. So with my skills, because I know they don't have a vision and have a thought about it, I have to pull one out of them. So I might ask the question, do you feel you want your own apartment after being out of here? He said, yes. Do you want to be gainfully employed? He said, yes. What are some other things you want to have accomplished? So I'm pulling the vision out of him. I'm not telling him what he should do, but I'm pulling it out of him because it's in him. And then I asked him, well, what do you think you have to do to make that a reality? And he wouldn't know how to respond because he never did it before. Right? Right. And so I'll say, for example, do you think you might need to obtain your GED before you leave? You think you need to take a trade? He get the nod. So what are some other things you think you need to do to make that a reality? Make him think it through. not me telling him, right? Right. And then the third question is, what do you know about you that might block you from reaching that goal? And his ego might not let him answer it because he never looked at his shortcomings. And I know this. So I pull it out of him. I say, have you ever had an opportunity that you really wanted and you knew you blew it? He's like, yeah. I said, speak about it. Get him to talk about he had an opportunity and he knew he blew it. So when he talk about it, I say, that's what you got to pay close attention to. That right there. How did you blow that? And don't make that same mistake. So we got to learn how to teach. We got to pull it out of them, you know, and at the same time, people go through a stage of change. Like when I'm talking to most of these young brothers, they have what you call a pre-contemplation phase. They don't see nothing wrong with what they're doing, how they think, their value system, because everybody around them reinforces that that's right. You know, it's right to be strapped up. It's right to look at another brother as an op. It's right to do this. Everybody around them reinforces that's how you think. Right? So he's in a pre-contemplation phase. He can't see how he living is constantly putting him in harm's way. So now the second phase is contemplation. So my job working with him, how do I move him from a pre-contemplation phase to a contemplation phase where now he's contemplating on how he ended up in these situations. So what I do, I set what we call a matrix. A matrix is a safe place, is a place of nurturing and energy, and is a place to explore future possibilities. So you put him in a group setting with his peers that had a similar background, similar lifestyle, similar issues, and one of his peers comment, yeah, I used to think like this and that, but now, man, I'm doing this here and that's why I got this job, right? And that guy that's in the pre-contemplation phase can relate to what this brother's saying. He said, man, I think like that too. So now he's gradually moving into a contemplation phase. And then now we got to now move him to what you call a determination phase, where now he becomes determined to do something different. Not that he's doing something different, but he just becomes determined. And that might take some months to get him there. And then once you get him there, now let's move him to a planning phase. Let's come up with a plan. And that's when you really got to do the work, because when you come up with a plan, he might have some insecurities, some ambivalence, some fears, some doubts, some inferiorities, and can't believe he can do it. So you got to work with him through that. And now let's take action on the plan, right? I know when they came up with that with me, and they said, okay, now we done help you put a resume together. We done help you do all this stuff. Now you got to go out and look for the job. And when I stepped out in public with a white shirt on and a black tie and had that resume up on my arm, boy, I felt like Ike Nickelback or something. I felt like a hit. In my mind, I'm thinking everybody look at me like I'm easy prey. I'm talking about these psychological blocking agents. The narrative I've been feeding myself all these years. But I had to go to my matrix, back to that group, that setting with them brothers to normalize what I was going through and say, we went through the same thing, but this is how we did it. And every time I would go out there and get rejected on a job, I come back to this group and they gave me what I needed to go out there the next day to not give up. Even sitting in a GED class at 32, learn how to do fractions and multiplications, and them little 18, 19-year-olds calling me pops, laughing at the questions I'm asking. I want to put them bars in the app, and I don't want to get put out the class. I had to go to my matrix, man. Them guys got me through the GED because I would have quit. You follow what I'm saying?
So they
and
do
then once the brother go through and take the action like I did, and I got the job. Now the main thing is, how do I sustain it? And that's what I offer these young brothers. There's 3 things you got to master. 1, you got to stay alive. You can't get killed, brother. So you got to ask yourself, can you get killed hanging with certain people? Can you get killed hanging in certain places and doing certain things? So how do you minimize the possibility of getting killed? And the second thing, you ain't gonna reach your goal locked up. So how do you avoid getting arrested in a community where the police know your background and they do this stop and frisk? So what do you need to do to minimize the possibility of constantly getting arrested and going to jail? And you sure ain't gonna reach your goal, have no drug, you know. But I don't tell the little guy he need to get out of a gang and all that stuff. Because if I tell him he need to get out of a gang and I'm saying the gang is bad and it's wrong and he's part of the gang, then I'm telling him he's something wrong with him. And I'm gonna get all kind of defenses. So I join his world. I'm gonna learn how he see the world. You know, because for years I saw myself as a hustler, man. And I saw the world through the eyes of a hustler. And I only saw myself functioning in the world as a hustler. But I had to change my narrative, the message I give myself. Now I see myself as a black man. I see the world with the opportunities for every black man. And I see myself functioning in the world different. So I had to give up the old tools. You know, I used to get in crap games with the 8-straight 5, 6-8 flats, missed out, dead deuces, Texas turned down, scoop shots and all that stuff. I picked pockets. I played 3-card Molly. You know, I was Paul George. I had to get those tools up. And now I'm a certified substance abuse counselor. I got an associate degree in mental health and substance abuse. I got a bachelor's degree in inner city studies. I got a master's degree in leadership development and education. And what that form of education did, it taught me how to research, but mainly how to research the research. It taught me how to come up with a premise to look at what is the problem. But at the same time, how do you counter that? How do you set some projected outcomes? So you got to look at what outcomes you want, and that'll give you the trail as to how to get there. You know, we got to fly the plane as we build it, right? So that's me there in a nutshell. And I tell a lot of my peers, how you expect these little brothers to respect what you saying? You smell like alcohol when you're talking to them, or you smell like a blunt. You know, in Islam they call it al-cap. You got to be the message of praise. I don't know. I don't do none of that. Married man, right? I'm gonna say this and land the plane. Dr. Ram Kalinga, he's the founder of Kwanzaa and came up with those 7 principles in Guza Sabo. That formula for us, you know, that first principle is we got to strive for unity within our family, our community, our race, and our nation. If you got that spirit that you want to strive for unity within your family, your community, your race, and your nation, then that second principle, Kuji Shaka Live, self-determination. We got to start speaking for ourselves, doing for ourselves, providing for ourselves, creating for ourselves, you know. And then Eugene, a collective work and responsibility. We got to make our brothers and sisters' problems our problem, and we solve them together. And Ujamaa, cooperative economics. You know, we got to take control of our own businesses and control the economics in our own community. Because as Dr. Eugenie Perkins said, our communities have been colonized. He called it get colony. Our communities been colonized. We habitate in these communities, but we don't control the social. We don't have no social control of the community, no economic control. The average house a person live in, they renting from someone of another ethnic group. The job they working, someone own it. Where we shop from, someone own it. So we don't control our community. We just habitants of that community. And then Kauma, we got to make our communities more beautiful and beneficial, which we inherited, right? And then Imani, we got to have faith in our leaders and our teachers and our educators. You know, because right now we suffering what you call AIDS. You know how AIDS, a person can't die from AIDS because AIDS is a state of condition. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, meaning your immune system is so weak you can't fight off a common cold and you end up dying from it. Your immune system is so weak you can't fight off pneumonia, you end up dying from it. So you can't die from AIDS because AIDS is a state of condition. We struggle with what you call cultural acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Our immune system is weak. And our immune system is made up our leaders, our educators, our teachers, those that are supposed to fight off oppression for us, discrimination, marginalization, imperialism. That immune system culturally supposed to fight off, but we have a cultural acquired immune deficiency syndrome, and this is why we easily to be under attack and oppressed, right? And these are kind of teachings we need to teach young people. Like Dr. Karinga say, who are you? Are you who you say you are? And are you all you ought to be? So who am I? I'm Ruby and Benjamin Lee's second son. I'm Alonzo Lee, TC, Asia, and Mika's father. I'm DeAndre's grandfather and Akil's grandfather. I'm Alonzo Lee's husband. So am I who I say I am? Do I do homework with my grandson? Do I show up in school? Am I being fair and straight up with my wife? Then I'm being who I am. But if I cheat on her, I'm not being who I say I am. If I'm not there providing for my family, I'm not who I say I am. And then am I all I ought to be? Am I constantly trying to improve myself? Trying to network, provide, produce. Because God made man, he made animal. An animal is a consumer. He can only survive on what's already there, because animals can't produce plants or vegetate on the seed and eat off of it, because he's a consumer. He can only eat what's there. And if there's plenty of food there, animals get along. But when there's a shortage of food, animals attack each other over the food. And when there's no food, they eat each other because they're consumers. They can't produce. But man are producers. And if a man is not producing, then he become an animal. He'll rob his brother. He'll break in his brother's house. Right? He get reduced to animalistic because he's not being a producer. And God hasn't programmed no man to fail. And we all have the potentials to produce. And with that, I'm going to land the plane.
Okay, then. He landed the plane. Who want to take up the wheel on that one? That's a hard. Hey, Strong, I think he got you beat, bro. He got you beat, man.
Well, actually,
stuff there, bro.
Actually, I just want to present my ticket and get on the plane. You know,
I know that's right.
So while we taking it, we taking this trip, I actually want to speak on something because he spoke on a mental development issue that we face when we're trying to teach those who come from a different mindset of ourselves. And, how do you talk to somebody? How do you teach somebody that, in essence, you can't relate to? You have to find underlying commonalities. You have to find the things that every human being desires. Peace, love, justice, the right to liberty, pursuit of happiness. These things everybody is entitled to and deserves, and certain things are put in play to stop us from getting those things. And with our young people, the possibility of hope has almost been diminished, which is why we don't have the effort, because I can't see anything at the end of this effort y'all keep telling me to put forward. Try, when all I hear the older people saying is how they've been getting screwed for so long, how they ain't made no progress. See, there are a lot of things that go into destroying the hope of the future generations. But the biggest impactful things is when those that came before them display no possibility of hope. The infighting and the things of that nature, the lack of discipline, dedication. He named several degrees he had. And although the average person would hear those degrees, I heard a why. I heard a discipline, a dedication, a determination. I had to do these things in order to get to where I was going, and I stuck to it until I saw them through. And these are the benefits that you hear in my speech, that you see in my walk. These are the things. These didn't happen overnight. No way possible. If you research these degrees he just named, they didn't happen overnight. Oh, no. So that's where the discipline and the dedication came in, the determination came in at. But it also prepared him. This is where, if you're doing anything, proper preparation comes into play. This is why it's important that you prepare yourself to take on the task that you're attempting to accomplish. And like I said, in order to do that, you have to know what the task is. So let me ask you where you see yourself at in a year. Because where you see yourself at, then how you plan on getting that. That where you see yourself at is your vision, is your goal. And how you gonna get there? Well, I don't know. Okay, well, let's look at some of the elements of that. You're gonna need a job. What type of skill set do you have? You know, what do you want to do with your life? What does it take to become that? Okay, do you have somewhere to live? Okay, well, we know it's going to cost this much. So everything ties into each other. So this is having a realistic plan so that you don't fail. And this is something special for brothers coming home because your situation changed all the time. It was okay for me to stay over here when I got out. Now they can't let me live with them. So now I got to find somewhere over here. This job said I was promised. It's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into coming out, and it's overwhelming. Right. Especially without a plan. You know, you make a whole lot of ideas, you have a whole lot of visions, but you don't really have a realistic base on how you're going to achieve those things. So you start with the process of how does it work? You have an activating event. This is a desire or something happening to you, a desired outcome, whatever. Then you have a belief about that. That belief is your foundation that you're going to grow everything from. All of your action, behavior, attitude is going to be based on that belief you have about that situation. So from that point in your belief will determine your choice, i.e. your consequence. So now if I can get to your belief, and this is for my teachers out there or instructors, whoever, if I can get to your belief about this situation and allow you to see whether it's based in fact, reality, or truth, because that's the first thing that has to be challenged is your belief. And once I know that my belief is true about it, then I know how to make the proper choice coming forward because I prepare myself based on those truths. So when I understand that a young man doesn't believe that his vote matters, then my next thing is to show him why it matters, how it matters, even if I got to show him the journey that it took to get the right to vote and the things that have changed since brothers have began being involved in the political process. You know, it's just, hey, we got to get out. Your voice is your vote. And it's okay. Well, if I felt my voice has never mattered, then that still is not inspiring enough to get me to get up and go out. Right. Okay, but if I can show you the power of collectedness, like I said, even going back to the civil rights movement to where we heard about King, we heard about X, we heard about all of those people, but you had James Lee around the corner and this brother over here and this brother over there that was doing all the things that they were doing. They never made any paper, but their contributions counted. The protest, the standing out, you're not going to sell us these bad things. We'll shut your... See, you understand that all of these empires are built on the back of the poor? Your $1 from a million of us add up. Yeah. You know, we steady pouring into those people that are feeding us because we steady look to them for our resources. We steady look to them for everything we got. We don't look at what we have because we're too busy focusing on what we don't have. You know, when we take account of the fact that I have a brother in my block that has been looking a job for forever. He's a mechanic and it's 10 people on the block with their cars broke down, but they can't afford to take it to the shop and nobody thinks to go holler at this brother. But he also hasn't made it known that he has these skills because he's not putting himself out there. He's not allowing himself to be vulnerable to get to where he's going. So we have to take chances. We have to step out on faith. We have to educate ourselves. We have to, that planning. What is it? What is the saying? A failure to plan is a plan to fail. This is one of the truthfulest and most true sayings in the world, because if I don't know where I'm going, then I damn sure don't know how I'm getting there. Right. So I'm out here spinning my tail. And when we look at the saying of it's where you begin, you got to know where you're coming from to know where you're going. It doesn't do me any good to look back to the, well, for some, it don't do no good to look back to the 50s. I'm not in the 50s. I'm in 2024 right now. And these are the issues that I'm facing. These are the things that I need to focus on. I need to get to the core of these. You know, why is it that in my community, there's not enough food to eat, but we steady building more and more fancy tourist attractions? Why is it that I can't, it's against the law for me to give a homeless person a sandwich? Why y'all, it's against the law for us, or you get ticketed for feeding the homeless down here because we're making it comfortable for them to stay on the streets. These are the things that even with the slavery of, you know, the amendment that makes it okay for you once you're a felon to be considered a slave, and work behind these walls, cheap labor and all this free labor, all these type of things that's going on. They just had a vote on that. And you'd be surprised how many people even knew that it was being voted on because lack of awareness.
Yeah.
So if we're not aware, then we can't possibly prepare ourselves. If we're unprepared, then we can only accept what we continue to get. So
wow.
If you want to change your situation, then you have to put in the work to change it. Set clear, defined goals, get with those around you, start with your family if you can, because it's like I said, start with snowball, start in-house first, start with your family. Learn the people that are in your household, not who you think they should be, but who they actually are. Mm-hmm. And take account for that, because like I said, you have to know your resource. Economic value doesn't just come from money, it comes from the resources, all resources. That's your economical stance.
I just wasn't aware of I know you're not joking, but that just kind of threw me. You can't give a hungry man a sandwich.
Bro, listen, the lady went out with a sack full of sandwiches to feed the homeless people, and she set it up at the park. The police sent to the dollar store, bought 2 gallons of bleach, opened every sandwich, put it in the bag, and poured bleach over it so that she couldn't go feed it to somebody else. Now, the homeless people come to your car, they get ticketed, you get ticketed because you're feeding them, and it's stopping the city from performing their initiative to get the people off the street. They just made it illegal for them to sleep anywhere on the streets. So if you're homeless, it's a crime now. It's a lot going on down here, but the thing about it is 1 or 2 people fighting ain't gonna make that change. But do we look to the government to help, or do the city and the citizens? Because we got to remember, the government is made up of the people.
Right.
So the issue is not, these laws were created by people. So it's coming from within the people. So to fix the problem, you got to look within the people. So now, regardless of the fact of, hey, I'm going to get this, that, and the third, I'm going to help this brother eat. I'm going to feed him today, but I'm going to find out while I'm feeding him, bro, what is it that you're good at? Because you ain't always been out here on the street.
Right.
What kind of skill you got? You got somewhere to eat? I mean, you got somewhere that you can clean yourself up, whatever. You got clothes. So if I get you a little gig, you'll show up. Be out here tomorrow. I'm going to see what I can do for you and come back and put you on so you can feed yourself from now on. Give them a hand up instead of constantly giving them handouts.
Right.
You know, remember that they are people. They're not bums. They're not the homeless. They're not all. They're people. They're your neighbors. They're your brothers. They're your sisters. They're part of your community.
Right.
When we stop looking at things as though it's not my business, it ain't got nothing to do with me. That's his problem. Nah, it's all of our problem. You know, and if I fix this community over here and leave this community in shambles, that's exactly what we're dealing with now. We're in a country that's supposed to be every man created equal, but we have a house that's divided against itself. How is our government divided about determining who gets treated how? Aren't we all supposed to be treated the same across the board?
Indeed. Indeed.
And then this, I believe it's a farce anyway, though, because the house divided against itself truthfully cannot stand, and it's been standing for too long. So they give us the dog and pony show while they make the decisions that they want to make. Right. You know, it is, but that's why we got to get inside. You can't lie to us as long as we inside them closed door meetings. You can't lie to us as long as we bear it every time y'all talking about something and we actually voting, we actually inform, and we keeping track of the way these things went. You can't lie to us. We involved. But as long as we ain't involved, that's what you can tell me. Whatever you want.
Right. Right.
And then you're going to tell me a story about some rapping. I'm going to forget all about
it. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah. So it's on us, man, to save us.
Anybody else want to chime in on what the brother said? Go ahead, KD.
Yeah,
go ahead. Well, go ahead.
Oh,
OG,
okay.
Go ahead.
No, I just want to say, you know, listening to everybody, you know, it goes back to what Mr. Barsdale was telling me a long time ago. You know, he taught me a whole lot. You know, I used to come with all kind of excuses about I couldn't do this and that couldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But he never would let my excuse be the reason for me not doing it. You know. And by him teaching me and showing me things. Not only that, he went out and did it himself. He went in what he was telling me to do. He actually did it himself to show me that it can be done. You know what I'm saying? So he was showing, telling me, and doing it, and he actually doing it. That motivated me. You know what I'm saying? To go and do it too, because I ain't had no more excuse. I couldn't give him no more excuse why I couldn't do it because he did it and he doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it go back to as what I'm saying. In order to teach and let these youth understand you, you got to be the example of what you teach or what you telling a person to do. You know what I'm saying? I never been a person to I never been a person to follow an individual just because they tell me something. Now if that person go out there and show me and they doing it, then hey, I'm down. Hey, okay, it can be done. You can
Right.
always sit me in front of you and tell me that Capone, you need to do this, do that. But yet, you haven't shown me yet. But when you show me and you doing it and you said this was okay, I don't have no more excuses to throw at you because you ain't gonna listen to me because you know you ain't gonna let me do the excuses no more because you doing it. So it's just a different different feel of how I see things and everybody else because I've been in the prison since when I was 18 in Mississippi. You see what I'm saying? We in Mississippi and going through the prison at 17 years old and doing 20 years. I got out when I was in my mid 30s, out here in the streets, so I did more time in penitentiary than I have on the streets. So trying to understand a whole lot of things that's going on, I was kind of blinded, because I was so far into the streets. I lived my life in the penitentiary toward the street instead of living my life in the penitentiary as toward the word. You know what I'm saying? So it was a different feel. But I understand what everybody was saying, and I understand even with Mr. Benny Lee. You know what I'm saying? When he came up to what he are now, even to Mr. Barstow to what he came from to where he are now. They took pride in what they did from Strong to Ambassador Strong, Ambassador Carr. Everybody had a trial and tribulation that they went to, and yet they are doing it on a basis. You know what I'm saying? We don't show credit to the guys that we are doing out here in the streets. We only show credit to the guys that out here can give you money, can give you this materialistic stuff. That would be show all the credit to, but we don't show credit to the guys that actually out here trying to make a change in the streets. So I ain't gonna take a whole lot of time. I want everybody get a chance to speak, but I just had to say that right there. So that's man.
Nah, you good, OG. You good. We wanted to. I think Mr. Barsdale wanted to say something. We're gonna pass it to KD, and then we got two new people that just came into the show. We're gonna pass it to Mr. Barsdale first, and KD, we'll jump to you,
brother.
Speaking out real bad.
Yeah, everybody mute their mics. I think your microphone messed up.
Speaking out real bad, big bro.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, better. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Way better now.
Like I said, I seen Minister Rico, I seen Benny, I seen Jeff, seen Larry, seen my father and them coming up. I saw the fight they was doing and fight what they was fighting, the cause they was fighting for. So I went out, like the phone shots was saying, when I went here, heard Benny Lee speaking, every day those same things he see, that same thing he said, I went out there and did what they would do. What I'm doing today is what they would do. I sacrificed every day I go out to the jails. I go to federal prison system right today and got 49 guys and women out of jail. I took another 300 out of the state prison system and go to court for them guys to get them out of jail. Went back to go get them and show them a better way. Not only did I go get them, but I show them how to feed themselves by getting them a job. When they said that, man, how I'm gonna do this? When they come up with excuses about, man, they ain't gonna hire me for my felony. Oh, yes, they will. Here's a job. Man, how I'm gonna get this house? Don't worry about that. Here's a house. Cause I show them how to get that house. Did I show them how to own that house without putting a dime down? I show them how to build their credit and show them how to get their house with a USDA loan without even put a dime down. So they walk out that door when they say they don't have these opportunities. I educated myself to make sure I went out of my way to make sure they had those opportunities when they walk out them doors. And that's the fights I fight every day today. I got 7 vans. I got all these guys and women out of shit. I took 183 people out of cardboard boxes when they said, you know, saying it couldn't be done. I done it and got them off the streets. I'm still doing it every day. I might get 3 hours of sleep every day fighting for others. You know what I'm saying? For change. And so they won't have to make the same mistakes I made and others made and down the line, you know. But I get them the opportunity, some go back, reform back to their family life. I even go to court for them to get them modified off of house arrest after they done been successful within that 90-day program that I had created, you know what I'm saying, with dealing with anger, dealing with lifestyle change, dealing with, the hate and hurt. I show them how to overcome those obstacles that hinders them from being successful. And I fight that fight every day. So when Benny Lee said that, it touched me deep because those are things that I know that they would do. And I want to make sure I'm staying on that same path of that light that they did. And you know what I'm saying? So I want to help those that to be successful and not gonna make a mistake. So it was a sacrifice. Don't get me wrong. When I said I did something, I'm doing it. When I say I'm gonna do it, I do it. You know, when I say I ain't the one that gonna speak on something I lived it. Everything I'm saying, I'm actually living today. You know, and I just wanted to share that. And I ain't gonna never stop swinging, you know, to help see them brothers and sisters, you know, saying come out of that place. And I'm gonna fight for them every day to get them out of that place. And I also show him, give them that opportunity and walk out that place. So I'm gonna make sure I leave them without excuse by being that sample for them. By showing them I've been down the roads. If you're gonna do something, I want them to see that I've been down the same path they went to. But I'm gonna be the example, show them how to get to where I'm at today, but in their own form and fashion, and find out what their passions are and help them bring the best out of them, you know. And with that being said, I just want to say, blessed be you, brothers, man.
Powerful. Legendary. Love you, man. The legacy of big teacher. Prime example of what we do. That's what it's about.
Yes, sir.
I want to get in that. Y'all hear me? Let me get that jump. I want to guess all our ass whooping and tell you the truth. We need our ass whooped, man. Because let me tell y'all something, man. I feel like, you know, man, we gotta talk about what we're gonna do for ourselves. Man. I feel like us, we don't fight for us. We'll talk about we waiting on these 4 years what the next asshole gonna do for us instead of what we gonna do for us, bro. What we gonna do to help our situations. Whoever get in the next office, next, what we gonna do as a people for us? Because neither one of them don't give a fuck about it. The system ain't built for us to win. So we got to figure out what we gonna do to help our situations, us as a people, how we gonna move. I feel like we've been selfish by even focusing on these two idiots or whoever they put in the office to do anything for us when we ain't doing it for ourselves. So I think we need to be focusing on how we can help ourselves as a people, man. We need to stand up, man. You know, I feel like we like to get fucked in the ass. We know they fucking us, but we don't want to fight them. We'll fight each other on the block, but we won't go fight the beast. You know, we need to be standing up against the beast, bro. Focusing on how we gonna fight this beast that's been destroying all our lives. Why is we still focusing on Donald Trump and Harris when we should be focusing on who we are as a people? What can we do for us? So whoever get in office, we gotta take care of ourselves. We gotta take care of us. So how we gonna take care of us? We still focusing on these. We wait on one president. What can he do for us? They system already built for us not to win in the first place. So we already putting, and we do put somebody in office. We already send them in a dungeon because they're going in there to fight more demons. So that's why it's very important for us, like, to stand up with our people who we do vote in office, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's important for us too as a people to start fighting for ourselves. When somebody get in office, bro, and they're not doing right for us, like Fam said earlier, we can't have two people going to fight that fight for them when we all voted for them to get in that office and we ain't standing up for them. My thing is this: I'm tired of us saying every time we vote somebody in office and they don't do what we say, what we voted them in for, we always say, well, they wouldn't let them do it. They wouldn't let them do this. They wouldn't let. No, we didn't do what they said we was gonna do either. We didn't go stand up. We didn't stand up. We ain't standing up. We talking shit, but we ain't standing up. You see what I'm saying? We letting them, when we put people in office, we letting them turn our people against us and not be able to do nothing for us. And then we making excuses up for our peoples why they couldn't do it. That's some bullshit. We got to stop that, bro. We got to start fight for our own rights, but we got to start standing up. The people need to stand up. How can the people come together and stand up for whoever they put in office, they still got to do what the hell we say they got to do. We won't. Whoever they put in office, whoever they put in office, they still supposed to serve the people, bro. They're supposed to serve us. So if we don't like what the hell they doing, we got to stop talking shit and let's go get their ass. And we go to war, get their ass.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. We talk too much shit where I come from.
And that's understood. And the fact of the matter is, you know, so we got some new guests coming in. I wanted to say thanks to Benny Lee for coming in for what he said he had to go because he had an engagement he had to go to. So we gonna respect that. Slaw Boy, we totally get what you're saying. That in voting and people get in office, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, it's the corruption in that. We're not on the inside, so we don't know how deep the levels go of corruption. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, when we see it in movies, they say it's the truth hidden in plain sight. It's truth in fiction. We see it in the movies. They put it in the movies. They put it in. That's the propaganda that they put in our faces that we pass off as, okay, that's just a movie. No, that's not just a movie. That actually goes on. I have seen movies where something that is going on now maybe happened 5-10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's a plan in place. You know what I mean? There is such thing as plants. People are put in positions to push different agendas. We know that too. So, you know what I'm saying? In any case, we always have to be aware of, like Strong said, what we are voting for. Do your homework. Do your research. Read up on this person. Find out the pros and the cons of what this person per se is coming in to do for us. Like for me, it might be something else. For you, it might be something else. You know what I'm saying? But is it feeding everybody? Again, popularity is the biggest thing because everybody wants to be popular. And they say it on the news all the time. It's the popular vote. The popular vote. It's nothing about the facts. They forgot about the facts and they go on popularity, so it gets thrown out the window. They give us the food to eat with everything in it, but are they eating it? Like the COVID shots. We all supposed to get the COVID shots. Did they get the COVID shot? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Who put that into perspective so they didn't have to get it? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's these people hidden behind these curtains that we don't see. It's the ones we don't see coming. The ones we see coming are just a face.
Yes.
That's why they call it popular vote.
Right.
What happened to the realistic vote? You know what I'm saying? That's my position. Where's the realistic vote? We've been taught that since elementary school. You had to vote for your class this, vote for that.
Right.
So we already conditioned to vote since from youth on up. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take in on it. We're going to pass the torch on again. I'd like to welcome the two newcomers to the show. You know what I'm saying? We got Tyrone in the building. What's going on, brother Tyrone? Is that Tyrone?
What's going on? Thanks for the welcome. What's going on? How's everybody?
No problem. We just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, make sure you can hear and see.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, brother. Welcome to the show. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to, we talking about the growth and the movement of our communities in our own community. So, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to get some insight on you too. What's your position on the corruption and the destruction of the growth and movement in politics and this everyday life? You know what I'm saying? We're going to just say everyday life. We ain't going to just put it in politics in one form.
Well, basically, I was just taking care of some work, and I saw a text from my brother Benny, and I just wanted to come in and hear everybody's take on the subject matter, because I didn't really have anything to expound on at this time. I just wanted to come in and listen, get observation, and gain some knowledge from the people that's here.
Understood. Well, since you're here, you know what I'm saying, you can give us an insight on how you feel about the destruction and the corruption in politics and in the communities and everything that we're dealing with now, setting goals. You know, it's a lot of things to tell. We've covered a lot. So it's you know what I'm saying, we got a melting pot going on of ideas and things for the community to motivate, you know, rejuvenate, generate, and try to push this message forward for the people.
Well, actually, my take on politics is that, you know, I don't really look for politicians to really impact uh me personally, because I've never got to a point where I've seen politicians do the things that need to be done for the communities that we live in.
Right.
You know, everything that they come into the community with is not to build up, it's to tear down. You know, they've actually uh, killed off the structure of our people by doing things like closing schools, taking the resources out of our community, um, you know, putting our children through school with third grade education, you know, and then the kids graduate, not the kids, but the children, our children graduate out of high school uh, with sixth grade education. And after they graduate, there's no room, they can't go to college. And as a result of that, they have to go to the streets in order to help feed and provide for their family. And as a result of that, they wind up in jail, prison, and a lot of them die. And that's what I see today. So until the politicians correct the thing that's going on now in our communities, I don't really have a take on them because I haven't seen them do anything. You know, we got a lot of people like yourself, you guys who go out and speak about things of that nature, but I haven't seen any results. I know there are some results because of the things that you guys put into place for the incarcerated that come home and things of that nature, and try to help the brother get another chance. But other than that, you know, I hope that things will get better. But at the same time, with the way things are going, I mean, we got somebody running for president who's a felon. But you can't get a license if you're an ex-felon. You can't get a license for, I don't know, hundreds of things that you can't get a license for. And you done spent your time in penitentiary. But this guy, man, I'm talking about who does that.
Right.
So, you know, when it comes to that, I have no faith in the government that governs the United States of America at all.
Love it, man.
None.
I love it, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And I mean that speaks volumes. That really speaks a lot of volumes on, you know what I'm saying, really what do we have to look forward to? You know what I'm saying? You used to could look forward to something, but there's no expectation. They stole expectation. They took out a lot of things in the communities. Like I said, like you said, you can't expect them to do nothing. The expectation out the door. You can't depend on them. That's out the door. So what do we really have? What do we need a government for?
Excuse me, bro. I want to add to it. I'm so tired of voting for people and then they not doing what they said they're gonna do, bro. Like the vote's so important that every time we do it, we have to stop. We have to stop voting and not going behind it because we keep voting for people and we think they're gonna do something. And then they get in there and have an excuse every time they get in there, bro. We gotta stop that.
It's not for me. It's not that they make excuses when they get into these offices. You know, they're going to give you everything that you expect or that you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell me what I want to hear. They're going to put all this stuff in the forefront in order to get in office. Once they get in office, then the tables turn. Now, what is it I can do with the people who I'm in office with,
Right.
the cabinets, in order to line my pockets, get what I want out of the community, get what I want out of society, get what I want out of the government, how much money I can get under the table, over the table, around the table, however. You know what I'm saying? And steady take from us through taxes, property taxes. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about all kind of crazy stuff they put in. If you go to the bag, I spend my money to buy groceries from a grocery store, and I got to pay you 7 cents in order to carry my groceries out the store, which I'm supporting. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just little stuff like that. Do you know how much money they make off a 7-cent bag?
That's what they were saying. Each dollar, $1 from 1 million people. So
Yeah.
7 cents. It may not sound like much to you or I. I mean, it is.
Right.
7 cents does make a difference.
Because
It does make a difference. I think the tax here is 8% on the dollar. So you know what I'm saying? And in the counties, they don't really tax you. So how is it the metro, the inner cities get taxed, but the surrounding areas don't. You know what I'm saying? That don't make sense to me either. So I get it. I get it.
Because it's like, well, just understand, again, we're gonna understand the numbers when we talking about politics, man. The numbers rule the situation. The old Arab, I was working in this store on 77th and Halsted before, man. Actually 76 and Halsted, right by the police station. This was probably like 2003 or something like that when I moved over in that area. And I say, Sam, you know you kind of shiesty, man, for not letting dude go with the little penny or whatever it is like that. He say, hey, man, I'm gonna tell you something. You treat a penny like you treat a dollar, it all add up. Why you think they got taxes?
Right. Yeah.
Small amount of things, and now we understand the number. If you got 4 million people in Chicago and they taxing everybody 6 cents, 7 cents, whatever it is, to $1, it don't take that many hundred pennies to make $1. So you're making billions off pennies alone.
Yeah.
And this is where the politicians get involved with the community and start taking things from the community, raping things out of the community, adding things that has no value to our community. It's those who can see that think that we are blind. It's the blind trying to lead people who can see and don't understand that we know now. You see what I'm saying? Like he said, we got to stop voting for people that goes in there. Like Strong said, we have to adopt these individuals like they are kids and groom them no different than they groomed Obama or anybody else.
Right.
We have to groom these kids. My brother said he goes back and forth to the penitentiary system. Like Benny Lee said, okay, so these curriculums and these books that we are writing, they need to be in the penitentiary system so them future leaders or them leaders that get out of the penitentiary, that real run into them streets, actually got something to teach the streets.
Right.
I'm out in these streets all the time. If anybody pay attention to me, I can be talking about the rawest thing in the world on video, but I get much love and respect from people as I am walking because this is my journey. This is what I'm doing. And they know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Not no politician, but I want to help create the politician that we need from the roots of us. So them kids going in the penitentiary system, they need a curriculum. They need an educational value of what needs to be done. That's what we need to do for our youth that's locked up. And some of them older elders that's locked up in the penitentiary can understand that, hey, your organized faction of righteousness has restarted. It's the rebirth in these things that need to happen with this stuff. Everybody say everything follows into a cycle and starts over again. Welcome to the rebirth. And the rebirth actually has everything to do with us.
Right.
And doing these values that brothers like Mr. Lee's and everybody else have put together in their own factions way back then. We are actually taking up the torch of these brothers that picked up the torch from brothers like, well, they was there at Malcolm time, so they didn't pick up that torch. They picked up Frederick Douglass now. They picked up that torch. Kingdom picked up that torch, and we picked up everything from there. So that's why I said the movement never stopped. It just keep moving. Now, when we understand that the movement has everything to do involving with the politics now then we have to understand that by the number of us, we make these politicians do what needs to be done for us. We actually go up in there and help these politicians write these bills according to what the people need, because we're not writing them. The politicians has fired the people because they're writing them now. You remember that song, It's Only a Bill, and remember that?
Yeah.
That's when we were writing them. The community. They took the power out of the community with the entertainment. That's all politics too. Got a death code and the numbers and the political prisoners and things of that nature. Private prisons opened in what? 1990. When did Menace to Society come out? 1991.
Yep.
We need to push these boys in jail. Uneducated, untreated PTSD. All these things that happen in our community, we thrive off the negativity because it's being promoted so much. They making laws against God. Fuck the people right now. They're making laws against God.
Yeah.
What makes you think they gonna do something for us, y'all body? That's why we need to make the difference. That's why we need to be the change we need to see. This is why education needs to be the purpose of every organization out here on the planet. Educate your hood and buy back the block.
That's right. Buy it back, man. He said again.
Get it back. We can't do nothing if we ain't got nowhere to go.
Right.
And I think, and another thing I wanted to say since I'm on here, right? You know, we got
Yo,
the
you put your
music
mic on.
industry.
Your mic ain't on. Excuse me, brother. Big bro.
My mic ain't on.
No,
Yeah, it's on. You good.
Big bro D tried to speak. His mic wasn't on.
Oh, David, go ahead.
My bad, bro.
What I was saying is when you said something I've been speaking on for a long time to brothers. Well, with those vacant lots in our neighborhood. We all have a lot of vacant lots in our neighborhood, right? Buy that vacant lot. You can go right to that vacant lot and start growing your own crop right then and there.
Yeah.
Maybe
Create your own
$1.
See all abandoned houses on your block. Go same way the Mexicans do. Go in there and start fixing that abandoned house and just pay the property taxes on it. They can't put you out.
Yeah.
And everybody in the whole community on that one block got together right now. And everybody put $20 in, food stamps, whatever. You go get everybody. We create, go door to door to. Now what we do is we have somebody on the block cooking. Instead of them on that taco stand, we have home cooked meals right on our block. We did it as a group, as a family. The whole block did it together, invested in each other. Those are things I'm just showing you example of things. How can we get deep done right now as we speak? We all invest in each other. Those little packs of Kool-Aid, they cost about $1. Get the kids out there, say be out there some ice cups right now.
That's right. Come on.
Doing every day on our same community that we should be doing ourselves in our community. Yeah. We construct pass that by you. You know what I'm saying? Change the ways of our situation by reading those, guiding that light in our community by buying back our community and taking back our community. You know what I'm saying? And then rebuilding back in our neighborhoods like we need to. Because those same abandoned houses, they doing it every day in our community. Something we should. My question, what are we waiting on? And why? When the mama's crying and baby dying, what are we waiting on? When the community's in uproar, what are we waiting on? Why are we sitting back and not doing those things? And those things are available to us every day in our life. And we see it and we know it. We just ain't act on it. But we talk about it. Right. So let's put actions in those words.
Well, I guess what it is the factor of people saying that. I mean, all that's true. It's just the fact that I know that it's people out there that it's not my problem. You get what I'm saying? It's people that's messed up, but that's not my problem. It's a lot of those out there. You get what I'm saying? And it's a lot of us, but they just like Ambassador Carl said, we got to come outside. They got to see us outside. They can't see us outside if we in the house. You feel what I'm saying? We can buy back a lot of stuff. We can bring back a lot of things, but we have to desensitize people from that. It's not my problem. You know what I'm saying? If it's not me, I'm not gonna worry about it. If it ain't affecting me, then it's not my problem. That's the narrative that we trying to kill. That one faction right there is not my problem. I hate that. I can't stand that. Maybe hate is a strong word, but I cannot stand
But
somebody.
but bro, what this I gotta understand is it's not their problem, but it's gonna be their problem though.
You and I know. You and I and everybody on this show know what's going on.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the big fight. We got to get through those individuals saying that's not my problem, because those are the ones that's gonna lack when the problem actually, you know what I'm saying?
Mic ain't on. D, your mic ain't on. D, your mic ain't on.
I said, look at your community. It's already their problem.
Yeah.
They walk through it already their problem. When the community's in uproar, stuff like that, it's already a problem. When that person down there, it's already their problem. When that abandoned house, that house sitting there abandoned and get tore down, that's the problem. Because now your neighborhood, you all your life is so that becomes your problem, because that is your problem. You just can't keep ignoring the problem. What's got to be done about the situation. That's the problem right now. Because we need to speak to our people in our community.
Right.
People in our community. We can understand with them. Like I said, we take time with our community. We construct our community. Then we can also stop a lot of things in our community. But now we know who's and where and why. Community that can stop a lot of situations, because now we don't have to do everybody in our community. So we know something going wrong in our community. We became controllers of our own community. But then that comes here's our problem as a people. We don't pay attention to those things. You said it right. The word hate is strong. The hated word is a strong word. I'm trying to replace hate with love. And I'm trying to replace the word anger with passion, and humbleness. Trying to replace those things. I think the fact to change the way we're thinking, saying, not to hate your fellow brother, not to hate your fellow sister, saying, learn to love them, which is a lot. But we got to remove that pride, which is poor, reckless, individual thinking. Those things got to be moved, for the individual ways. But it takes to save us. The main thing is going to take us to save us. We got to put that neighbor right back in the hood.
Yeah, right. And I absolutely agree. It's just the approach. You know what I'm saying? It's the approach. You got the knucklehead, man. It's a whole. I could go on and on and on about that narrative. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave that alone. But
it's all about the individual. How you put it.
The leadership. The leadership
in these streets don't even know who I am. Every day I wake up on these streets, I know who I am. But you know what? I start off. I might just walk up to, hey, young man, can I talk to y'all for a minute? I might come have a whole gang of people sit down just to get their attention. Once they allow me to speak, the rest is history. Because that voice you have carry, because that voice came from a king, and you a king. We all born king, and you was a gift from God. That's why you here. Use that spirit that God gave you, to lead his people and show them a better way by your food, your thought capacity. All you need is a moment of their time, and now you can redirect their whole aim. Because nobody was willing to listen. Once they was willing to listen, now you got them. But now you got to know how to win them in their world and bring them back into yours.
Yes. Let's go, big bro. Love you for this, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm talking about this is good stuff. We getting down to the last. I don't even want to stop the show. I don't even want to stop the show. We're gonna give a round of applause to everybody that came on today. You know what I'm saying? Want to thank y'all for coming on. With everything that we pushing, we're gonna do a series tomorrow night at 6. Same time, same place on the same channel about the same issue, so we can continue keep going. We still got some newcomers in that didn't get a chance to speak. I think it's Will.
How you brothers doing?
All right, how you doing, brother Will? Everybody mute their phones right quick so we can hear brother Will. Okay. Brother Will, we wanted to welcome to the show. You wanted to drop some insight on what we was talking about today. I know you caught the tail end of it.
Yeah, I was invited. Had got an invite from my brother Benny.
Okay.
Very insightful. Listen to you, brother. Share your different perspectives. As far as with the politics, concerned, they would never be able to lead the people in a different direction until they learn how to serve the people.
There you go.
They have to understand what is your primary purpose from going for that position in the first place, to bring change for the people or just for yourself? You know, because a lot of times I've seen when I go to vote for someone, you know, I'm hoping that they will do something different than the last one. And then some fail at that. But the biggest thing that gets me when I look at our people as our people, it's like the brother said, when you can take them abandoned houses and refurbish them and help provide homes for other people, right? I always say to brothers, I say, if you guys can get together and take over a house that somebody else owned and make it a dope house, why can you take over an abandoned house and make it somewhere that's a place of construction versus a place of destruction?
Howard, love it, big bro, love it. Let's go. Let's go.
You know, what kind of messages that we send? I understand when brothers say, well, this may not work, you know, have every excuse for why it won't work. Because I always feel like you have to be the message that you preach.
Right.
Are you willing, when you hear messages like that, are you willing to allow God to put within your spirit a message that would actually take hold to that person? Because it really always, you start with one and you build from that. Change the narrative. Change, it starts in the thinking. You know, if a brother or sister loses hope, but they lose hope, you know, when they give up on God,
right,
and then give up on self, everything looks gloomy from that point on. So when I look at some of my brothers and sisters, when do you brothers and sisters want to start coming together in unity and support each other and lift each other, still always destroying each other? I get tired looking at the news and always seeing some type of murder happen, and then to be our faces. How often do you hear murders being broadcast on the news and it's a ghost face? You know what I mean by a ghost, right?
Yeah, they show it and then they don't show it no more. You know what I'm saying? Wow. They show it one time, but this
it get past you so fast your head will spin.
Yeah, I mean, the way they flashed on the news, hey, this guy did this, such, and then all of a sudden, in other news, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
In our communities, they do repeat it. It's a repetitive thing on the news. If the murder of this, the shooting of that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm sorry. This the New Solution Radio podcast show. And if it ain't AGELREEFE and the family, I'ma keep saying it till I get tired. Overstand, leg up. This your boy T-Pole. This the New Solution Radio podcast show. And if it ain't AGELREEFE and the family, I'ma keep saying it till I get tired. Overstand, leg up.